Good afternoon everyone, this is a rare indoor video from me, and the reason being this has been a very wet winter. Usually there's at least a few days where I can get my big heavy winter coats, dog beds etc. dried outside. This year it's just not really happened. So when I was asked what I wanted for Christmas, I thought, I know. I've been looking at sort of heated clothes dryers of some description for quite a while now. I was sent a list of which best ones, which was really useful to read through, and I've gone for the Lakeland Dry Soon Drying Pod. So I received this for Christmas, but I haven't had time until now to actually get it out, put it up, have a proper look at it, and then I want to be able to check the clothes regularly, so I need to be around so that I'm not drying for longer than I need to. There's been mixed reviews. Different people say different things about the heated areas. I've gone for this one because I'm also fortunate to have a proper airing cupboard behind me. So if I do need to wash big bulky items like my walking coats, over trousers, walking trousers, things like that, they can go in the airing cupboard. So what I need is somewhere to put my regular wash at that time. Otherwise I'm washing my outdoor gear instead of my own clothes. So let's get it out and let's have a look. I must say it's come in a much smaller package than I was expecting. Looking at that, that's even smaller still. Looking good. Let's get it out. What a neat little package. It's really useful knowing that it packs away that small, so that in the summer I can tuck it away up in the loft and it'll be out of the way. Right, I need to use two hands and concentrate on this, I think, and have a look at the instructions. I think we must have instructions in there, surely. Yep. There we go. So we'll have a look at those and see what we can do. These instructions look lovely and simple, so hopefully they are. We always like clear instructions. There's a really nice, easy diagram showing which item is which. It's correspond with the instructions. So let's get it put together. With the unit turned off, which it is, tripod feet into the holes on the unit. Yep, we can do that one. Fit the lower pole into the top of the unit. From the diagram it wasn't massively clear which is the lower pole. Once the unit is up, it's really obvious. It's the one with the screw to screw in. As I'm finishing putting it together, this is the current weather outside. And this is what it's been doing all winter. It's just unpredictable. Doesn't take obviously much of a shower, and that's it. The washing's wet. Well, that was incredibly easy. It's actually bigger than I was expecting, which is good. Let's see if it fits into the gap that I want it to go into. Perfect. Yeah, looking good. Let's have a read up on what to do next. It was looking a little bit wonky, but adjusting the tripod legs has fixed that. One of them wasn't quite fully in. So I can use any type of hangers, wooden, plastic or metal, and it says to place 2 to 3 on each arm, well spaced. Okay, I'd read that you could only place a maximum of 2, but that's great because that gives me a bit more space than I thought I would. I think it is time to go and get some washing. Okay, so I've put a fairly typical mixed load of washing on for me. So I've got some work trousers, a couple of tops from going walking, a couple of jumpers, and then just because I'm experimenting, I've also tried some underwear on a hanger. It is making me think I probably need a wider selection of hangers. But this is looking promising. The rails looked a bit flimsy to me, but actually they really aren't. I did make sure the wash is well spun, which is recommended, so you're not sort of hanging dripping or saturated clothes on. It's well spaced out as recommended. I've got one hanger on most arms. There's 2 lots of trousers on that one, and the underwear's on top of one with jumper on. I couldn't see me really getting 3 hangers on unless everything was the same size and same type of clothing. So that's nearly ready to go. We need to get the cover on. So again, it looks decent quality. I've unzipped it. It'll go over the top and be zipped up well. And it does state that nothing must touch the motor underneath. Okay, so that went on easily enough. I've moved it out a little bit to give me a bit more room. So cover's on. Nothing's touching anything that it shouldn't be. Now it says timer. I've plugged it in now. So timer clockwise. Minimum 30, maximum 180. So I figure each of these blue sections are 30. So if I come around here, that would be the first one. 30, 60, 91. Yep, so let's go another one. Another notch. Okay, this isn't the easiest. That's slightly disappointing. That dial's really hard to move, and it would be helpful if there were some numbers on it. You can use it without a timer, and I don't ever intend to leave this unattended for long, in all honesty. But I'm going to go and give the dogs a short walk each, do a bit of training with them now. So that, as far as I know, is set for an hour. We'll leave it. Let's see what happens. I've chosen to place it in my bedroom when it's running, and will be stored in the spare room. But you can feel the heat coming off it already. And that's a big benefit for me. On a day when I'm home, it'd be quite nice to have my bedroom warmed up. There's no need to put the heating on. So there we go. That is on and running. I've got it near a well ventilated window, which is always propped open anyway. Let's come back in an hour. Wow, I've just walked in. Very warm in here. I will crank that window open a little bit more. Just make sure there's room for moisture to leave. The timer's still going, so obviously I've got the timer wrong. I need to have a look at that. But it's been just over an hour now. Let's have a look. So, just over an hour. The thinner clothes are dry. Which is excellent. Yeah, underwear's dry. Thicker clothes, the jumper and the trousers, the thicker trousers, definitely need a bit longer. So, that's properly dry. Let's take that one out. Give what's left in there a bit more room. Take the underwear out. Oh no, actually that is still a bit damp. Let's leave that in. Spread around a bit more. That can come onto this one. And I was reckoning about 2 hours a load. So we'll leave that to it. And see how we get on. The timer was very nearly round to the finish, so I've set that for longer. That's something I will have to explore more and find out more about. But it's made this room amazingly warm, which is lovely. Definite bonus. Right, we're at 2¼ hours. This room is lovely and warm, and those ones are dry. The jumper's dry. It is just that thicker pair of trousers I can feel that isn't. So that's still a bit damp. So I'm going to give them a bit longer. You can see there is a bit of condensation around windows. I do have a dehumidifier in here anyway, so that is just something to watch and bear in mind. You bring quite a lot of moisture into the room. That's this lot dry. I think in reality I've got to look at nearer 3 hours for a full load of washing, but estimated at, I will have to double check for this particular dryer, but it was 20 to 40 pence an hour. And for the ease of being able to dry a load of washing at home in an afternoon, yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm going to give it one more test before we make a decision. What I'm now going to do, this is a big ask, is put dog bedding in. Okay, so I folded up fleeces, hung them over hangers, but one on each arm. I've decided that the coats are too wet still. They need another spin, but the fleeces have had an extra spin and they're okay. And this, for me, would be a game changer. I think the world of my dogs. I hate that dog smell. You know, when you walk in someone's house and it's really clear there's animals living there? It's that smell. It tends to be the bedding and the collars. Material fabric collars on dogs just hold that smell. So if I can get a load of fleeces done like this, I'd only need to do this sort of probably every 3 weeks. It's give me enough for the car and the front room and puppy's crate. So if this works, that, as I say, is a game changer. Let's see how it goes. Something to be aware of, it is a little bit fiddly doing up this zip at the bottom. Okay, so that's it turned on again, and off we go. Right, this one's had an hour, so let's have a look. Now they're doing really well. I did expect them to need longer, so I would expect them, yeah, that's not far off dry, to need another hour, which I haven't got this evening as I'm working. So I will turn everything off, turn it off the plug, and put it on for another hour tomorrow. But overall, I'm really pleased. Realistically, we're looking at sort of 3 hours for a mixed load of washing. I think a load of dog bedding like this will be 2 hours. And that's a game changer for me. That really is a big difference. So yes, brilliant Christmas present. And I can highly recommend, from what I've seen so far, the Dry Soon drying pod from Lakeland. As I finished the review, I went to move it slightly to go and turn the plug socket off, and one of the legs came out again. I have been able to push it into place, but definitely something to watch out for. Those 3 tripod legs need pushing in very, very firmly. There we go. That's it. So still highly recommend. Just got to be a bit careful. And again, look at these rods. I wouldn't put anything too heavy on. But the weight I've done today has been no problem at all. Take care everyone, and see you all soon.